Welcome to Gaming Top Down. Today we're going to be unboxing Everdell Silverfrost. This is a sequel of sorts, a new version of Everdell that is a bit more complex with a lot of mechanisms revolving around snow, and you have to clear snow in order to take the actions that you want, but has kind of this similar gameplay feel in that you're placing workers down, gathering resources in order to get victory points like the first game, but it's supposed to be a little bit more complex, which is why I was excited to try it out. So excited to open this one up. Let's go down to the table and take a peek at everything that is inside this box. Okay, down here at the table we have the game. Has some very cool like shiny silver lettering there on Everdell Silverfrost. Here's the back of the box. Let me zoom in for you so you can see those a little bit closer. 1 to 4 players, ages 10 plus, 30 minutes per player. I think that's about the same weight as the original, but well, maybe slightly longer. And I think it is supposed to be a little bit more complex. So let's open it up and take a peek inside. Okay, first is the rule book. Kind of a smaller footprint, or at least length times width than I was expecting. Introduction, snow clearing song. There you go. Can sing that while you play. Contents, glossary overview, setup, how to play, quest requirements, playing a card, card types, very card-driven series of games. Prepare for season, snow, end of game, the solo rules, and setup, and scoring for solo, and credits here at the end. And oh, the back is cool. New features comparing to the original Everdell. Very cool. All right. In this game, much like Everdell had the big tree that you would build, this one has this snowy mountain. And I believe different cards kind of sit on these ridges in the mountain. So maybe we'll build that at the end as part of this unboxing. That would be kind of fun. So I'll set this aside for a minute, then we'll get back to it. And oh, it looks like there's also a beacon that I think goes on top of the mountain, it looks like. So we'll build both of those. Okay, here are the pieces for that beacon. Nice linen finished cardboard, maybe a little thicker than standard. Some more cardboard here. You've got the snow pieces that will block worker placement spots. I'm not sure what these markers are, but they look like a big like eagle's talons. Some more pieces there. Okay, and then the pieces for the mountain. Cool. Again, we'll come back to those in a minute. One of the fun things about Everdell is the resources are really cool, and I think one of the resources in this version is moss. And so these are kind of like a felt material. Let's feel one of them. Yeah, feels like kind of crazy. It does kind of feel like moss. It's probably felt of some kind. I wonder if the back is a sticker and they will stick on top of some kind of wooden piece. Because those are very flimsy and I would imagine easy to lose like this, but we'll see. I'm guessing there is something. Okay, here is the game board. Folds up in a strange pattern, but then does fit, has nice slots up here to hold those edges. So let's open that up as well. We'll zoom out here for a second so you can see that. Here is the game board, and I think the mountain will go up top. Again, kind of similar to the tree in Everdell, and there's different worker placement spots all over the place where you can send your little meeples in order to get stuff. Some of them can have multiple workers at them, and then those snow tokens will cover some of those up during the game. Some more pieces for the mountain. Very big mountain, actually. That'll be fun, again, to set up here in a minute. And then I think that's the back side of the mountain. Okay, there's quite a bit in this box. Everdell has very cool pieces traditionally. The berries in the first one were very squishy and cool, so I imagine that this is somewhat similar. Got some promo cards and the small deck and the 2 stacks of the regular deck. We'll look at the cards last. Cool insert, looks like that will hold everything for you. We've got some meeples, and then the resources, the coins, the snowshoes for the meeples, the fire pieces, the acorns, and the coins. So let's move this, and some extra baggies. Let's move this box out of the way, and we'll look at some of these pieces zoomed in a little bit closer. Okay, so there's 4 different player colors, I think just like in the first one, but they're different animals. Probably a snowshoe hare. I'm not a animal expert, so that might not be right, but looks kind of right. A hawk or an eagle of some sort. Is that a fox there in orange? Then a penguin in blue. I do like those. They're big and chunky. And while we're looking at those, let's pull out these snowshoe pieces as well. Each player will have one of these, and they'll put it on one of their workers, and it will make it so they can go to locations that are covered in snow without removing the snow. And they can also go to locations that have an opponent's meeple there already. So I think they call it your explorer or your scout? Some kind of special term for your worker that has the snowshoes on. Kind of fun. I do like attaching things to meeples for whatever reason, and those slide on pretty nicely. Let's get one on this fox. Cool, maybe that's a skunk. It's orange though, so I don't know. I would think fox. And then the penguin. He looks a little funny in those because he's kind of a smaller meeple than some of the others, but those are very cool. I'm going to pull those off, and then we'll continue. Okay, so we've looked at the meeples, the snowshoes. Then we have a bunch of different resources. There are what appear to be acorns, and these are, again, not as squishy as the berries in the first Everdell, but have a tiny squish to them, and a cool dark brown color, and they do look like an acorn. Very cool. Then a type of wood, I think, is birch. Was it birch? I think that's what I read. And they have that cool kind of same coloring as that type of tree. Just a little white wooden piece. This one, it looks like the resin from the first game. Kind of the same kind of plastic orangey gold piece. And then, is that all of the main resources? Oh, looks like it might be. Then each player, I think, can earn up to 2 of these chimney pieces during the game. And they're a very cool sculpt or a shape here. I like that they have an opening at the top. And then one of the main components and differences between this game and the original Everdell are these fire pieces, which are very cool. Plastic, kind of a swirling shape. Hopefully you can see those okay. Very red. And you'll spend those in order to carve out snow so that you can send your worker places that is covered with snow. You can get them by going to the hot springs, that kind of thing. And then there's also coins. This is the Kickstarter version, so it has metal coins. Here are the 5 denominations. Has kind of the mountain peak in the background there. Yep. And then the ones here, triangle shape, also have the mountain peak in the back. Very cool. I love metal coins. They just get a little bit of extra heft, obviously, than cardboard, and makes it feel like you're throwing actual quarters and silver dollars around the table. So, anyways, that is, I think, everything inside the box. And I didn't see anything that the moss would attach to, so it must just kind of be these floppy little moss pieces, which is kind of strange to me, but maybe they're easier to keep track of than it seems. Okay, now last up here, well, I guess let's show the cards and then we'll build the stuff. So we're already zoomed in a little bit. Look at the promo cards last. Let's open these decks of cards and just flip through the cards very quickly, just so if you want to see what the cards are like in this game compared to Everdell, we've at least seen them all. And I'm just going to open these all at the same time so that I don't waste time opening them in a moment. Looks like the big cards again are pretty similar to regular Everdell. They have a cost and a type, and I'm guessing you're building a tableau of like your own little city. I think it was a 4x4 grid of up to 16 cards in base Everdell. Got a scout. Looks like there's multiples, so we'll go through these pretty quick. Chimney sweep. Mountaineer. Mist Ranger. Postal Pigeon. Sky Ranger. Guide. Blacksmith. Carpenter. I like that art on that card. It's probably Andrew Bosley again, I would imagine. Cloak Maker. Bricklayer. Fire Ranger. Firefighter. Artist. Warden. Mountain Ranger. Almskeeper. Guildmaster. And then these cards, I wonder if they're for the solo mode. They just have a bunch of icons on them, and it looks like the solo character is like moving around or something. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 of those cards, looks like. Okay, and then there are a bunch. Well, these look like they might be solo cards as well. They have that character that was in the rulebook on the solo page. So here are those really quickly. Looks like they have a different order of the types of cards, so probably they'll be focusing on a different thing depending on which card comes out. Put those over here. Okay, scoring in the solo mode. And what must certainly be another solo card. All right, now we're back, I think, to the regular deck of cards. We've got the Cellar, the Tugboat. I feel like some of these were in the base game. Mossery, Smelter, Longhouse, Village Store, Tinder Cave, Beacon, Camp, Watchtower, Trading Post, Brick Kiln, Feasting Hall, Flow Ferry, Hostel, Bell Tower, Smithy, Inn, Post Office, Lodge, Great Hall, Mountain Pool, Citadel, Mill, Stormwatch, back to the critters, Leaf Ranger, Barterer, I almost said bartender, Chip Digger, yeah, interesting, and the Trailblazer, oh wait, he's not last, and the Investor is the last one there. So a bunch of critters, a bunch of buildings, similar in that style to, again, base Everdell. So I'm going to move some of those cards out of the way a little bit. Here are the promo cards. 12 Days of Bellsong. Got the Longhouse, Village Store. I wonder if these are slightly different. They have a little icon on there. I wonder if the art's just different or if they actually have a different effect. Camp, Flow Ferry. They seem like kind of like a Christmas theme. Bell Tower, Inn, Chip Digger, Chimney Sweep, Guide, Cloak Maker, Fire Ranger, and Alms Keeper. And then there's the back of that. So just 12 promo cards there. And then last up are the small cards, of which there are a few different types. We have these green, what appear to be a contract of some sort, a blue contract, a bunch of these snow cards, and these snow cards. So let's look at those first, I guess, since we're already here. Again, I'm going to go through these really quick. Aurora, Bravehorn, Corleander. I think these are like the larger animals in the area that you can summon like help from. Eldon, Emberbright, Firebeak, Honeypaw, Jules, King Rune, Marigold, Millie, Mink, Noble, Puddle, Rurik, Scuttle, Steady Trot, Stillwatch, Stubblehoof, Swiftfall, Thistle, Thunder, Triptail, Truffle, Whisker, Whisper, and Windlore. Very cool artwork on those. And I wonder what these ones are, if they are not those as well. Okay, so these seem to be like a... maybe these are also solo cards. They seem to be like a worker placement spot that has some sort of benefit up top, or maybe there's a spot on the board. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but then different cards here that seem to probably clear something out of the valley. I think the valley is like the set of 8 cards you can draw from. Okay, then the Forge, Guild, different spots on the mountain, Journey, Guild, Journey, Guild, and Journey. So some small cards there for, not sure if those are, no, they're not for solo. They say 4-player and 3-player on some of them, so they must affect the board state in some way. All right, let's look at the blue contracts, then the green ones. Here's the blue ones. Winter Games, New Roots, Royal Rescue, storehouse supply, spring cleaning, build the beacon, snowed in, shore to shore, wandering road, hall of council, traveler's rest, powerful princess, tale of triumph, and tapestry of valor. Then the green ones, my guess is they'd be worth less, but yeah, they look like they are. Map for every season, mysterious flame, shoveler's guild, race to the peak, tactful negotiations, sprouts, icy exploration, royal errand, underground greenhouses, shivers guild, foghorn, quick cure, dangerous delivery, ready the runners, windbreak wall, injured big critter, cider crafting guild, secret mission, rubble repair, escort, wandering tribes alliance, rushing to the rescue, ice carving guild, frostbite, nut grove, fuel the flame, and roof collapse. So a bunch of different, again, contracts that you can earn during the game. I'm going to put all of those cool cards off to the side now, and let's build this mountain and the beacon, and then we'll finish or get out of here. All right, here is, I'll zoom out a little bit. The back of the mountain has two things to pop out. Pop those out. Okay, set you there. The front of the mountain has 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 little ones. So pop all of those out. I have shaky hands, so this is probably not the cleanest punch out you've ever seen. There we go. Okay, got those out of there. Okay. Then we have these pieces. Well, yeah, let's build a mountain first, then we'll go for the beacon. Okay, these are like the shelves. And then there are 4 of these, what I assume are a locking mechanism of some kind. And then these ones say extra. So I'll punch them out and just set them aside for, hopefully you never need them, but if there's a day one of yours breaks, you've got some spares. Okay, and then I think that's everything for that. So let's flip this over, make sure we build this correctly. So we have, oh, I guess I need to punch that out as well. Okay, we have, this is the front of the mountain. There's a back and a top. So this, oh, maybe that is just the top actually. This is the back. He's pretty big. And it looks like, a little bit tricky to see. So this goes here, it looks like. That's a odd spot. Oh, I guess it can go like that. Okay. And then these can go in there. But first I need to get these under here. Okay. Getting close. Maybe. Okay. There we go. Got that to click in. So we've got the top, we got the front, got the back. Then looks like the rest of them just kind of slide in there pretty easily. So you've got a one here, 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 and here. And then the 4 things there. I'll push that back a little bit so you can see it, and then I'll tip it up towards you in a moment. That goes in there. Here. Here. And here. Okay. That is cool. And it would slide there to the back of the board. It does look pretty nice. I actually think I like that better than the tree. The tree I felt like was hard to kind of see the cards that were on top. I'm guessing that these just kind of sit, I'm not sure actually, like so. Well, it looks like something would maybe sit there. Maybe not. Maybe that's just to help the cards kind of stay off from being totally flush with the mountain so you can grab them a little bit easier. Kind of like that. Cool. All right, let's build the other side. This one's probably going to take a little bit longer, has quite a few more pieces. Let's pop those out real quick, and then we'll assemble this thing. Okay, before I build that, this is kind of cool. I didn't know what this was. I thought it was going to attach to the mountain. It's actually an alternate. If you don't want to build the big mountain with the beacon on top of it, this is in the rule book, it says a 2D mountain board alternate option, where you can just put the cards along the bottom here, and then the beacon sections are on the top. Very cool. I'm going to move it out of the way now, though. Okay, then I'm going to pop all of these out, and I will be right back when I'm done popping these out, so you don't have to watch me do this boring part. Okay, it looks like there's actually spots here for you to build 4 beacons with pieces lettered A to H for each one. So I've just popped out the A to H's, got those pieces down here. So we're just going to build 1 of the beacons, but you would build 4. And so let's try to put this together if we can here. Place the front tab of piece D into the slot at the top of piece H. Okay, this is D. What's the front? Oh, like this. Okay. So this one, I'm going to zoom in again here. It looks like it has a little hint there. And here's the fire thing, but it goes in the front like that. Sandwich pieces D and H between pieces A and B. Okay. A and B are these big ones here. I'm going to move this page because I'm just messing up my organization a bit. But there are tabs that those should go in if I do my sandwiching correctly. Okay, there's that one. And that one. I think we're just about in there. Let's make sure that goes in smoother. Same with you. Okay, so we've got those sandwiched. Now what? Place piece C into the back slots of pieces A and B, locking them into place. So this one should slide in like that. Cool. And it does kind of lock those into place, like I said. Okay, then put pieces E and G into the slots of piece D. E and G are these two that are identical. So they go here. Oh, and there's slots in that. Yep, like that. And like that. Okay, and they nest in there really nicely. Okay, and then this one goes on top. I'm assuming just kind of like so, and it did, and it clicked in there kind of nicely. Huh. Very cool. Place the beacons on the mountain ledges, directions on the back, according to the number of players. Step 6, coming back here to the mountain, assemble the beacons and place them on the mountain ledges according to the numbers of players. Oh, okay, I can see here on the mountain, there's a spot here that says 3 players, a spot here that says 4 players. So you must use a number of them equal to the number of players, it seems. So, and they sit on there just like so. I don't know if you can see that very well, but very cool. So the beacons sit right on the mountain. And again, if you don't want to deal with building all of that and having a big mountain at the top of your board, you can just use this flat replacement instead. Sometimes if you're in a crunch or want to play quickly, this might be kind of nice, but that does look very kind of menacing and cool up on the board. So anyways, that took a minute, but I think it was kind of fun to do. Last thing I'll show you is this cool artwork inside of the box lid. And that is everything inside the box when you open up Everdell Silverfrost. This is the collector's edition from Kickstarter, but I assume they'll have a retail version as well that probably just won't have the metal coins and some of the fancy extras like that. But make sure to let me know in the comments which version of Everdell, of which there are now quite a few, is your favorite, and if you're looking forward to playing this new one. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I will see you on the next unboxing here on Gaming Top Down. Thank you so much for watching this video. As most of you know, Gaming Top Down is an independent endeavor. I don't accept money from publishers for previews or opinion-related content, but there are a few ways that you can support the channel and help me keep the lights on. Liking this video and subscribing to the channel helps me to grow. If you're thinking of getting a game that I covered in this video, please click the affiliate link in the description of this video. It helps to support me and doesn't add any cost to your purchase. I also do a weekly gaming podcast where I talk about the board games that I'm playing along with my brother. You can check that out on Apple's podcasts and on Spotify. And you can also get that podcast 3 days early over on our Patreon. You can follow the Patreon at patreon.com/supergamebrothers completely for free. But if you do support us over there, you get some extra perks like being able to write into the show, getting early access to the show, voting on the games that I'm going to cover and review, and lots of other fun stuff. Thanks so much for your support, for liking and commenting on my videos. You really are what helped keep the lights on for me. Thank you.